Hello there, I'm Tomlin's Lieback. It's 365 days towards racial change. It's day 235 underway. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you hanging in there as much as you can, as much as you will. These, as long as Google continues to express its grace towards me, these videos hopefully will last into perpetuity. So I give a shout out to Google every once in a while. For those 5 people helping out with this project. Appreciate y'all much. Day 235 here, and we're going through our voting series. I think it's very appropriate, voting, maybe it's more than a year away, but it's out there in the news. Democratic candidates are doing this stuff, and the incumbent is keeping the issue of voting fresh in our minds. So it's important to see how Black people can situate themselves in their minds and their thinking in this very challenging, pivotal time in America. With that, let me just we'll go through our introduction here. Concerned about Black thinking first. Talk about Black folks first. Not just voting, and politics, but economics, work issues, believing in their dreams, whatever. What's the thinking of Black folks in America? What does Black feel like in public as we move about in the world? Are there still challenges to being in a crowd of white folks? I take public transportation a lot. Maybe it's my perception, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it feels like to me white folks take the hand of their children a little stronger when I'm on my way to my next destination. There seems to be more concern, heightened, elevated concern amongst white folks when I'm around. It's my perception. I don't have any proof. That's the problem. We don't have big screens in our head with true intentions. I had a teacher, elementary teacher long ago, or maybe a Sunday school teacher, said that life would be so much different if we had a real screen into where we're at in the moment. And I'm guilty too. There's characters that come around. I get a little more defensive and protective too. For Black folks, though, do we understand that we kind of paid those dues already over a long period of time? How do we get to the point, mentally, where we're secure and comfortable in the notion that we're participating equally, that we're being considered properly? But I think Black folks, something I found in this project, now 235 days into it, is that Black people are a unique group. Black people do need to be put in a protected class, as Dr. Anderson talks about. Black people, we reason, perceive, receive, understand our world in ways fundamentally different than other groups in America. Barring that conversation and complaining and going boo-hoo, over how black people are treated, the lynching, the rapes, burnings, and so forth, marginalization, permanently disadvantaged, all that. I'm not going to talk about that. Slipped it in there on you anyway. But when we look at historically, the very roots and foundations of America is woven, strong, supported with black lives. When we were just on the outside looking in, and as everybody gets a piece of the wealth and does incredible things in America, we're like on the outside, say, hey, we built America. Remember us? We participated in every war. Remember us? Somehow we survived domestic terrorism long before mass shootings and murders. We were that focus. Remember us? And so for black minds to appreciate where we've come and where we're situated, and also about that issue of protected class and whatnot. The only example I can give of that is how the process for promotion at my work. They're going down this list of questions, but the questions are so inappropriate for black people. It didn't dawn on me. Those questions are coming from the perspective of people who experienced life in a whole different way, who experienced the workplace in a different way. And those questions are so inappropriate for black folks that there's no question. We don't have a point of origin, any resources to answer the questions the way they're configured on that in this interview. I've heard the same complaint about education system as well. Blacks are just having a totally different experience in America than white folks, than the white majority. Conversely, for the white mind, do they understand how they are situated in America, that the system just works for them in a very real, tangible way. It's measurable. You can see it in living situations, business ownership, leadership in the highest levels of politics, everywhere. Right? This power and control exercised with impunity, almost across the board. And how this group determines what's good, this cookie cutter approach to American life, and applying that to everyone. But black people just are not the recipients of what all that means, how that happens consistently. Those that do mainly are entertainers, sports people, and such like that. Bobble up to the surface and all that. Rarely holler back for black folks. They know they've had a black experience in America. That's part of who they are. But then reaching some level or some point, there's no hollering back. There's no assessment given to others. That's one of the things I admire about Dr. Anderson's, where this man has worldwide, international connections with all kinds of people, yet taking the time out to make it known, make it public about these issues. Very important. Financial literacy, I always want to say a little word about financial literacy. How does money work? Who's money work for? The tangible benefits. We want to secure some wealth that we can manipulate, employ, move around the way we wish. My work is having hiring, because we're coming into our busy time. They want to secure some consistent employees to make it through our busy time through the holidays, and it does get intense. So it's good, but I get a little reward for my references. Well, the rewards are items out of a catalog, and I'm like, yeah, I need some cash because I need to maneuver, right? Um, so financial wealth is going to help me out a lot much better. Oh, then some items from your catalog. Nice items, good stuff, but I need the control. And you're not offering me what I need. I need to put some of this money into investments, think about how this money can work for me, that conversation. But we'll get to that. Tokens, symbols, things like that. That financial strength, power that so many other groups are exercising in America. I haven't mentioned Dr. Anderson. I've read 3 of his works. I probably got these books after I saw, he's all over YouTube, easy to find. I was like, saw a few of his things. I was like, that guy is on to something. That's what I've been struggling against in America as a black person. Read 3 of his works. Black History Reader, 101 Questions You Never Thought to Ask. Black Labor, White Wealth, Search for Power and Economic Justice. And Dr. Anderson's National Plan to Empower Black America. PowerNomics. You can find Dr. Anderson at PowerNomics.com. And he's, like I said, he's all over his YouTube. Behind me, you'll see hashtag #us2 symbol. On there, you'll find black women support one another, talking about their issues and challenges and struggles. Check out Black Enough, BLAGGENUF, on the World Wide Web. What kind of a black Facebook experience also. If you can't find your flavor here on the World Wide Web, please do what I did. Unburden yourself. Start your own little project. I got a handful of private email subscribers. You can get on that list. Just communicate and make it happen. And it's easy to get on and off it. Just let me know. So I'd love to have you. But the content is the same. Just they get a personal email from me with a link to these videos. And finally, we have story time. I love story time, and I know some of my subscribers have gotten this book because of these videos here at Uncle Tom's Cabin. Harriet Beecher Stowe's phenomenal work, and it takes you through fictional life of a slave. But you read the book to the end, and there's some surprises if you read the book to the end. But it brings up a lot of talking points that are very much appropriate and in line with the issues we need to get to here at Racial Change. All right, we're still in our voting. I spent a couple days through dishes, wading through, trying not to take you too much hostage about it. Voting actually is foreign to me. That may be another product of the black conditioning, where I was conditioned. I'll try to make this personal. To have this expectation that, America's so inclusive, America is going to look out for me in the long run. I just have to be patient. I can reflect on history. There was a civil war, and some of these were some big moments, the 60s and all that, to make life better for black folks. Uh, you know, yet when I look under the hood at history, some of the views of leaders back then, look at the result of a lot of these big historical events or um, initiatives out in on the American landscape. You know, the result isn't some huge push of wealth and whatnot of black people in the land. You find those black folks are still just shuffling along way behind the group. You know, whites, Asians, Hispanics, others, Arabs are on that list. You know, the Hmong are rising up in the land. You know, I appreciate and I'm glad groups are getting it and participating, but I'm not naive to think that black folks are having the same experience in America as all those other groups. You know, black folks are having a totally different experience. Hence, we're talking about voting. Voting is important because voting is where supposedly change is supposed to happen. People are supposed to. Politicians get held accountable. And we've got a host of should have a host of examples where where the vote came to a head and for some change and changes were made. Well, what you will find that doesn't exactly happen effectively for black folks. I would say even voting rights and things like that. Right, black folks, white folks had to have a conversation on whether to allow black people to vote, and they let us in. The suffrage is, in the hands of these white men, and they let black people vote, men, um, and then they let women vote, and then they allow, all these permissive words that we use in our language. I wonder if we're understanding what that means in America. That one group is like the funnel, and they dictate what the status quo will be, what the resources will be distributed among the land, among what people and when. That's a lot of power and control there. So today, there's a lot of aspects that Dr. Anderson talks about. I'm trying to stay on point with his agenda. If you have Black Labor, White Wealth, we're on question 42. Is there a voting guide for the average Black American voter? And I'll tell you the truth, I've not seen one. There's no exclusive Black resource. The internet's come a long way, helped us find whatever we're looking for. As long as we're not closing or making our world so narrow that we think it's the only thought. I recognize this is one voice among many, even among black folks. But a voter guide, I've got to admit, I've never seen an exclusively black guide that talks about black needs and issues, although I'm sure there's probably a resource like that out there. Now, the first thing we come to there, here in Dr. Anderson's work, is the play to win aspect. And, you don't want to go through the motions at the voting booth. I hate wasting my time and putting my energy into smoke and air, I'm an introvert kind of man of few words, and I don't like to see my resources wasted when I'm in my right mind anyway. If I invest, there's got to be some return on investment. If I show up, I'm not come, you know, if I'm showing up to work, I'm not showing up to have a conversation. I'm showing up to some skin in the game, things like that. So this play to win is a very important point that Dr. Anderson's bringing up here. You know, we don't play to put our opponents through the motion, and then they walk off, they get the girl and the wealth and the power, prestige. You know, we just showed up to be the practice squad. You know, black people need to show up, play to win. We're going to talk about some aspects of that in the upcoming days. But here's the mental piece. You know, okay, politician, agenda, whatever it is, that's got my interest, that's motivated me to take a day off work and um, go out maybe at night or stand in a line, go through a process of finding my name, and then all the hurdles we go through to vote, especially presidential, right? Although you know the place I live with, you can get you can mail your ballot, and they have special ballot boxes and stuff. I'm sure there's plenty of places around America that exercise that same process. But I've also gone to the booth. Let me disclaimer: I'm not a big person on voting and stuff. But every time I went, it's like, wow, this is kind of a hassle here. That aside, you know, I'm coming with an expectation that this effort and energy is going to be to my benefit. I'm coming away with knowing that that individual or group or that issue is going to pass, and I'm going to receive some benefit from that. It's an affirmative by expectation. You know, now I'm realistic. Everybody doesn't get what they want, and it's politics and everything like that. But at least if I show up, maybe engaged in some elementary study of my issues, and my candidate, then I want to win. I want to come away with something. And black folks need to uh, feel validated in that and expect to get it done on their behalf, most definitely. Um, well, black folks need to grow in their knowledge and their participation in the land, you know, because the winners get the benefit. The winners, they get the power, they get the know-how, they get more participation. Now, you know, it's unfortunately the track record, and it's like we talk about it jokingly about our politicians. You know, we didn't get what we expected or wanted. You know, but there's always some group that's either left out or the promises are broken um, to them. You know, the politician, that man or woman is casting a very wide net, you know, trying to uh, tickle the loyalty of the constituents, you know. So people fall through the cracks, get left out, get lied to, and whatnot. You know, you find that those who influenced the most, exercise the most power over that candidate or group, you know, they're the ones that are going to be first in line to get the lion's share or of whatever benefits are being handed out there. Now in America, we shouldn't be surprised that people who contribute to campaigns and are powerful lobbyists, these organizations, groups with financial resources who are catering to, contributing to campaigns, they're going to have strong influence, strong say over what it means, what that candidate is going to mean over the next 2-4 years, right? Yeah, it's going to be they're going to have that expectation. They're playing to win, and because they contributed, they're going to get what they came for. Right? That's one of my things. You look at these big policies, I'm kind of up on the issues, but then when you see various things get passed, the House and the Senate and the President, you realize that is that's been backed by some pretty powerful forces, political forces in America. If you watch, I grew up on Schoolhouse Rock, so if you remember the bill, I'm just a bill, da, 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 right? You remember that too? It almost makes you think, okay, the individual can cast their voice and their vote, create a document, send it up on Capitol Hill, and where it'll have a chance of being, being adopted, right? But then as you get older, and the fantasy, denial gets moved away, you realize, that it takes a lot of more energy, a lot more finesse, some wealth and power to win in whatever argument you're bringing, and you can't do it alone. I don't think there's a one person show that's going to push an agenda through. It's going to be a group, and it's going to probably have some wealth behind it, heavy influence to make it happen. You play to win. Play to win, black folks. Play to win. Some of the justification is like this voting thing. Blacks need to understand we're not getting our group collectively is not getting what we want through participation. So, a strong message would be to withhold participation. You would think, okay, if you do that, then other groups pile in and are getting theirs. Well, I tell you what, in my thinking, if we withhold our participation, let it be known nationally that we collectively did this, and we're just gathering and organizing, and we're going to show up at the polls with one focused agenda, and that's going to turn a lot of heads. That's going to get a lot of politicians interested in black folks, to have black folks taken seriously on this issue of voting. Let them know we're playing to win. We're not coming to the polls to waste our time with you. That may be one issue that keeps me indifferent towards voting, because I rarely see him talking about getting right down in the heart of my issues. I don't see that much. That's a calloused, biased system, and for black folks to play to win, we got to get organized better. We got a lot of groups, a lot of black interest groups out there that if you do internet search, Google black interest groups, you're going to get thousands of hits, no doubt. It's too bad we can't organize and focus our attention and our resources to really start turning some heads. But our first step, if you will, by Dr. Anderson is the mental play to win. Come with some expectation, not breathing in there, just coming around to breathe up the air, take up space, and have a day off from work or whatever. We really want and really need something to happen on behalf for Black people in America. Day 235 out of the way, 365 days towards racial change. My name is Tomlins Nyback. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.